bring it in with some music? So you don't want to hear about my wife, eh?
No.
I'm talking about her enough anyway.
Let's keep it relevant.
Real. Slide up there, G.
Slide up.
Let's get some Roadwaves intro music, man. I don't want to. Give me something else. We got to listen to that one again?
You don't have to.
What do we got?
Listen to anything you don't want to listen to.
What's my favorite YouTube Roadwaves tune?
I don't know. You could throw on our CH performance. Or
Oh yes, I do like that one. Perfect. 1,000 Lights. Let's see if we can get that to play. Well, look at the haircut on you, bro.
Yeah, that was when I just got it.
The fight so hard to reach the very core. Then I found her open eyes, held me to see the shore. Beauty in the skies, held me to open up some more. My eyes are shut.
Coming through there. Are you getting this hair?
Romantic clear as day. I'm begging you now, please. Take a walk with me. Come and see the trees. Come and take a walk with me. I'm begging you now, please. Take a walk with me.
Is this gonna trip copyright? No, I don't think so.
Feel strong like never before. Ain't wasting time no more. Don't need to look behind. Don't need to waste my time. Know the road is stretching thin. Got a feeling we can make it in. Got a feeling to get on by. Feel certain we can make it slide. When my eyes are shut, you're leading me the way. The colors vibrant now. The magic clear as day. I'm begging you now, please. Take a walk with me. Come and see the trees. Come and take a walk with me. I'm begging you now, please. Take a walk with me.
Is that yours?
No.
I was gonna say I always take my top off.
I see 1,000 different lights each and every day. Smiling through the night and showing me the way. Then I found your open eyes, helped me to see the shore. The beauty in the skies, helped me open up some more. When my eyes are shut, you're leading me the way. The colors vibrant now, the magic clear as day. I'm begging you now, please, take a walk with me. Come and see the trees, come and take a walk with me.
It seems bright.
Recording. YouTube usually sounds very nice.
No, not the sound. The video itself, like on the camera there, like
Oh
it's
yeah, I'm just trying to see it here. Oh, this is one.
Yeah, if that was in the 80s, it would have been like, yeah! Some fucking Axl Rose shit.
Okay. How do I get this off? Next song's going to play. Here we go. And then we get that hiss in the background. This isn't it. It's playing. Okay, cool. Whichever way it seemed to work. I don't want that hiss, though. Man, I'm getting all heated up. This damn scarf. Warm. I can't. Overheated. Whew. Gee. What up, yo? Put yourself up to the microphone there. Tell us about what you've been up to. After coming off your deathbed on the man flu.
Good time.
Do you think that men are more susceptible to being big sucks when they're sick than women are?
Definitely.
All right. So let's close some of this out. I don't need. Oh, we'll keep that open because I'm watching what we're doing. And this must be. Oh no, that's live. That's not live. Because I can tell. Because my shirt changed. That was a great riff, man. That was so different than the studio tune you just put out. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
pretty different.
is it just the live aspect of it, or come on, you gotta get right up on that thing, bro?
No, I think that song itself is more high energy for sure.
Yeah.
This is more of like an R&B sort of a thing.
Oh, okay.
R&B, like soul.
The live track. What you put
the
out?
studio one. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's more of like a laid back track. Yeah, it's
Right.
definitely the tempo slower. Like
So how, like, you put out the last album when?
May 2018.
Okay, and then you toured that last summer for the first time?
No, our
Or you've
first
been on-
tour was 2017.
Oh, okay.
We did the.
You toured the album before you released it?
No. Well, I mean, some of the songs, yes,
Yeah.
but it was less of touring us to support the album and more of just touring to like tour for the first time.
Right.
And then 2018 we were supporting the album. We kind of still are. Like I would
Yeah.
say from a marketing approach, you're supposed to like do it for like a couple years, like kind of milk. I mean, some bands are releasing shit like every fucking 2 months, but
Yeah.
so we're still kind of supporting the album and new singles and kind of prepping for the next album pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, and touring is kind of more for us as a jam band. Touring is kind of just like what you do, but like also we are supporting like our music that we put out, but it's less about. I mean, in the jam band world, like studio's not really a thing. Studio's kind of how you learn the song and see what it is, and then you go and catch it live and see like the different things you can do with that song.
Interesting. Yeah, you almost seem. I'm glad you said that because it's just the contrast between, because I used your video the other night on a bumper for one of my live broadcasts, right?
Yeah.
And I found myself, the chirping in my head was going, dude, this is not the song you should be introducing the world to roadways
Right.
with. Not the world, like
No,
there's
for sure.
not even 2 people watching me live. But, and then contrast that with the CHCH live performance where,
Right.
Granted, different tune, and a tune I've heard probably live before.
Right.
And contrast that with the studio song that I've never heard before, trying to get with it.
Yeah, studio's more of like the business card for the song.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So coming out of the man flu, how tell me a little bit about that. We all struggle with that, and I know people have been. Yeah, it's weird when you're a community guy, right? And people expect to see. Well, obviously, it's your shows and stuff. And there's other stuff that you support, and then boom, you're down for a week, 2 weeks, and people are going,
Where's
yeah,
G?
yeah. I thought he was supposed to be on Fannon Show. Yeah, no, he's down in the basement, man.
It was pretty brutal. It was definitely one of the worst sicknesses of my life. Like, just in terms of like body pain and like, it was like straight up flu. Like, I got knocked out by the flu. It was brutal, but I'm good now, man. So that's 11 days later, and I'm got a clean.
It's like a forced rest. We talked about this in the way
Exactly.
here today. It's like the universe said, you know what, bro? You've been
Just take a
working too
break.
hard. You need some downtime.
Some perspective.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause it definitely made me appreciate just like my body more. when it's not hurting, and you take that shit for granted.
Amen.
For sure.
Cool. What else can we load up to watch? Live stuff that you like.
Well, we could toss the new song on now if you want. Yeah, because I mean we watched it, but
get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way, exactly.
We might be here a long time. Oh, my shirt's bright, and you're right. We should work on the brightness while we got it here. And this. Oh, you got this on your channel.
Yeah.
Cool. So why isn't the sound quality a little bit better? Because there's some really, some of these videos on YouTube now, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
like
that,
this, for this setup, I mean.
That one specifically, are you talking about?
Yeah, it sounds like lo-fi.
Yeah, because I stripped it from their
website. You bastard. That's
it's
why.
My song.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
yeah, but
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Did you get a copyright strike from it?
No, it's my
that's
song.
Good.
Like,
yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, they don't have it up on YouTube. They only have it up on their website.
Oh, cool.
So.
It's amazing what gets you a strike on YouTube now, though.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's my own music, so I would just claim it. As my copyright.
Cool. They wouldn't give you a copy though. Did you ask?
I don't know. I didn't ask. No, I didn't. I
think
like
you need to ask them.
No, it's better to like say I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
It's only got like 400, 600 views or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think they care.
It's a good jam though, man.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
All right, let's play the new one. See if we can get her up there.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. What's it called?
Hindsight. Sure.
Safety meeting?
You know it.
There we go.
Recorded at Stonehouse Recording in St. Catharines. Russ Donahue, he's a genius. Russ Donahue.
Can't seem to shake this empty feeling. Gotta turn it around, look out and see what's ahead of me. Whether you join me, it's only up to you. Gotta look inside and see what your heart is telling you. I know you're lost in the world inside your mind. Just take my hand, promise we can make it a paradise. It won't be long till everything's gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Something is telling me got to be free. There's nothing that we can do.
Yeah, I better leave that for a couple minutes.
Should I open it? Does this explode?
No, I leave it for 10 minutes or so.
So, for example, this jam goes on for a while live, right? Like, before we hit the refrain again, like, it's a journey, man. Think of this as like a condensed version of the song.
And I know you're lost. The world inside your mind. Just take my hand, promise we can make it a paradise. And it won't be long till everything's gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Something is telling me
Yeah, exactly. No mistakes. Yeah, exactly. Polished. Super polished. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're pretty raw, like live. But it's fun. It makes it its own medium. It's like instead of painting on the canvas, now I'm fucking drawing a picture or whatever, right? Like, or whatever I don't know the proper analogy, but like, it's just a whole different form of like art that you can attack it from. Like,
Yeah, it's cool.
it's like, yeah, come see us live, but also listen to this cool little thing we made, like this video and thing.
Yeah, support for sure.
Yeah. That footage is from a festival we play called Come Together. It's a pretty jam band oriented festival, so we get the right crowd there, like very enthusiastic crowd, and that fire like is every time.
The live footage or the audience footage shots. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about those when it was cutting in and out of that fire. Yeah. So it was like people dancing around a fire. It's like a big burn. It's like Burning Man, but it's just one thing that gets burned like every year or whatever, and it's usually a big sculpture. Like I think this past year was like this big wizard, like made out of wood. It's like a big wizard with lights on him, and like you could go in it and sit down. There was guitars in there, and like it's like this whole thing, right? And then it gets burned at the end of the weekend. Everyone dances around it. There's people like hitting drums and shit. Like it's a tribal fucking. It's crazy. Like, and when you're on shrooms and stuff like that, it's a whole thing. Like feels like.
Look at you, just shot of you guys just standing around going like this. Pull up on that mic more, G. Aw, man. Froze our last beers, dude. It's almost 4:20.
Good timing.
Oh, it's 7:24 though. It's not short.
Yeah, I was saying that. The structure of the song is long. It goes through like a whole bunch of different shit. And it's actually one, I think the song with one of our most jams. There's 3 jams in the song. Like 3 opportunities to take the song in any direction sort of thing. So
Do you always expand them? Like every one?
Mostly, like there's some shows like CHCH where we're just keep it 4 bars and let's, you know what I mean? Because we have a time limit and stuff like that. But
Well, how much time?
they gave us like 8 minutes on CHCH, I think.
8 minutes playing?
All together, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. However long it is, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of like who we are. We stretch the songs, but I try to make a point not to stretch it just because that's who we are. Like if I just play what I
Right.
feel like it's being asked of, or
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
serving
yeah,
the
it's
song,
gotta just-
right?
yeah.
I'm serving the tune. Like so, sometimes it's a 2-minute jam, sometimes it's a 10-minute jam. Like, and that's mostly I try not to get in the way of that. Like, I don't stretch songs just for the sake of being like, oh, that was a 20-minute fucking version of the song. Like, and, there's people that get off on that and shit. And like,
Well, yeah, you as a fan.
as a fan for sure, but like, but it has to be good. It has to have substance, right? It can't just. You can tell when it's forced.
Right. And so, how long? When you're playing this on your normal expansion of the 3 opportunities to jam,
Yeah.
do you take them all a little bit when you're live? And how long does that song become?
That's a good question. Like, so one thing I notice is like the better we get, the less we need to take it out so far. You know what I mean?
Because you're taking it out for just what, killing time's sake or creativity?
No, not necessarily,
sake, or
because
like,
you get to your point quicker.
What do you mean?
Just so think of it as an analogy of like a public speaker. Like like if you can get to your point quick with less words, like that just means you're a master speaker, right? Like, so that kind of a thing. It's like how soon can I wrap it up? How soon can I say like boom and get right back to it? Like,
Okay.
because that's what you're going for, right? You're going for like that X factor moment where it's like boom, big, larger than life, and you take it there, and it's kind of like a whole tension release thing,
Right.
So it's kind of that thing, and so sometimes it takes longer than others, and sometimes it's like, I don't know. It's just like sometimes the length has more to do with because of the style of jam. It's a psychedelic jam, so it stretches on, and or like, you know, sometimes it's really funky, so you just keep hammering that funk or whatever. Like, it just depends on like what's being asked, right? And it goes in different directions. You can't really predict how long it's going to be.
I like how you said what's being asked. It's like it's actually a question that's being, you know, like just being in the moment and seeing what's being.
Exactly. Because it's like when you're having a conversation, it's like you don't know what's going to be said, and you can't like make up responses coming into a conversation. Like, you know.
I tried for this interview, but I was lost. Well, cool, man. I thank you for doing this. I told you what I wanted as far as, because we've done this before. In fact, you were probably there we go. Probably one of my first guests when I started doing musicians, right? And Jay Beatty was the guy that come out, and like I bought all these. I think I'm done with this. I know I am.
Yeah.
Jay Beatty come over, and he had this upholstery, like put the rings in the blankets. I bought these moving blankets. Like, I don't know, it's cost me $150. I don't know how many. There's many of them. And he helped me to put I don't know, I was so sound obsessed. You know, I didn't want it to sound like a rattly cage, but then who cares?
Yeah.
Could do this work. You see everything that Gary Vee does and everything. You think he was worried about his fucking sound?
Yeah, and
like,
it's not like you're doing like sound specific, like odd.
No.
Like,
it was important to me for whatever reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't have these mics here.
That's
right?
True.
Like,
exactly.
I believe that the mics somehow make nothing to do with anything other than just the listening pleasure of the show for any, you know?
Yeah, just the clarity.
And I certainly haven't got there as far as technology goes. But anyways, Jay was, he come and helped me significantly in the early days. And then I remember because the footage that we shot, the blankets are up.
Yeah. Yeah,
and,
we did a Roadwave show or two here, no? Maybe just one.
Yeah.
Like of actual playing.
Yeah. And then Roadwave set up in the basement, and that was my first trying to capture it live, and I think I failed miserably. We could go back and listen. I don't know what that. Well, again, because for me, I don't care what it looks like. Like it's not about sound. You know, it's not about the, you know, zooming in on G's face while he plays the guitar and all this movement and stuff. No, I just want to see him play.
Right.
Like as a wide angle.
Yeah, I have no.
But I need it to sound good if I'm going to listen to it, because I won't listen to it if it sounds like shit. And
right. Yeah,
especially your band, you want them to sound good.
For sure. Yeah, each piece kind of matters. Yeah. But I really don't have an opinion. I can't remember how it went.
It's up there.
Yeah, I know it is up there. I just haven't really gone back.
We'll play it after we go off.
I try to get not too in the habit of like watching a lot of my own.
Well, there you go. And
just let it go, sort of thing.
If I had to watch all my stuff, I wouldn't have any time to create new stuff.
Exactly.
Document, don't create.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you being available. And I know it's last time. I know you're going to be gone for probably like as soon as spring or before that. You started the 2020 tour already, right?
Yeah. Winter tour started like a month ago in Hamilton, or in January in Hamilton. What the fuck day is it? It's February
Saturday. Even I got that one right.
Yeah, January 17th we started our tour in Hamilton, Ontario, and that was a great show. Good response. I'm really pumped for this hometown show we have coming up. next month, March 14th. It's Pi Day because it's 3.14, March 14th. So I have a friend that's like a chef, and I'm getting him to bake a bunch of pies, and every ticket comes with a slice of homemade pie, and he's making like a bunch of different kinds and vegan options and shit like that. And yeah, it's gonna be sweet. We got Gin opening up the show for us.
Come on.
I'm stoked about that because they're great. And yeah,
What's the venue?
Warehouse.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm pumped about this one because I'm hiring a lighting tech. So just to give it that whole extra little thing. Probably won't make a bunch of money this show, but that's kind of what I like about hometown shows is it's like all my friends. So it's like a big party I'm throwing.
Are you going to have an audio recording of that thing when you're done?
I will be recording the audio, yeah. And maybe getting some video done. Really, yeah. I'm trying to get in the habit of catching more audio on tour.
You know how I feel, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's...
Record everything.
I know. Well, I do record everything on
you don't want it to be the magic that got lost on that. Oh,
I know.
we weren't running.
Yeah. So I do catch
and then
everything
it's lost
on my
forever,
phone
for literal.
for like listening back purposes.
Yeah.
It's good enough quality that I would feel pretty comfortable putting it on like archive.org or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the whole jam band thing, like we should be putting shows up on Spotify and stuff like that. Like that's kind of how it works, you know. So I got to get to that point where we're recording good quality audio, because that's the hard part. That's the expensive part. Is you got to get. I mean, like I could be mixing it, but I need the technology for that. Like my computer's not exactly the best, and so. But I will be catching good audio of that show. I actually just messaged Russ, the guy that recorded our last single. He recorded the Oddfellows show.
Okay.
So you know that video on our YouTube at Oddfellows.
Yeah.
So that sound, he was.
You got that one up there?
So that third video.
Okay, let's play that one next.
Yeah, that one could be next. So he recorded the audio for that show. He was doing the sound as well, but he had like his computer like recording it on the side, and then he mixed it afterwards. So that's the whole thing about it, right? Is like you can't. It's more than just about capturing the audio. There's like post-production and stuff like that. So it's just a whole it's a whole team you need for that kind of stuff. Like it gets to be quite the job.
So what's the date again?
March 14th.
Nice.
3.14.
The Warehouse is. You only need to tell me that twice, I guess, maybe 3 times. That place is a great venue, man. The sound quality in that room is tight, and the guys usually running the board really know that room, man.
Exactly. They've got a dedicated sound guy, and what I like about it is it's not like a bar. It's not a place people go except for shows. It's a dedicated venue. It's a music venue.
Good point.
You know what I mean? And so that's how you know it was built for sound, and they've got people that know what they're doing, and
functionally, it's cool. Bars at the back.
Bars at the back.
Stage at the front.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no weird entrances or anything like that. Yeah, I like it. It's a good spot. And
Gin is one of my favorite local acts, man. I'm glad to see them getting out and doing a lot more. I have, I always check in and say I'm going. I don't check in, but I always click going and then share it for the events, but I rarely make it out to these shows because they start so late, and I got other things I'm interested. Like tonight, there's fights on it. You know what I mean? I'm watching fights, man. There's sports and stuff, and
And for me, I'm always trying to catch as many as I can, but I'm always busy myself as a musician, right? So
you guys start so fucking late, but they've been getting a lot of work.
That is the thing. I do find
the culture, playing a lot, so
the culture is shifting to earlier nights.
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, there obviously are the people that work like day and get off at night and stuff like that, but like I do find a lot of people saying the shows start too early.
Too early.
I mean, sorry, too late.
Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah, and like I mean, there's certain cities we hit up like Sudbury, and there's random cities that are late night towns. Like people just don't come out till like 1. It's weird, or like midnight or whatever.
Yeah.
But most cities we hit, it's kind of an early night culture now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Even I find like bigger concerts, like I know Fish, they start pretty early. Like there's like so many after parties because of that. They finish at like 11:30 or whatever, and even big concerts are kind of finishing early. I find they're becoming like before midnight events, and then it's a good opportunity for people to jump on and do the whole after party thing, because that's one thing we're thinking about doing, is starting to latch on to like bigger shows and call our event like this after party, and just be the entertainment for the people that are looking for something to do afterwards.
Gotcha. Interesting. What else we got coming up?
So one thing I'm stoked about actually is we're doing an East Coast tour with a band called Afterfunk.
Oh yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, they're a sweet like R&B funk Canadian band, and yeah, they're just incredible. Their lead guy Yannick is like one of the best keyboard players I've ever seen in my life. Like just like straight prodigal style playing of just like, it's just insane. You watch him and you're like, what the fuck? And the rest of them are incredible too, though. Like they all hold their own. And we actually we opened up for them, and they opened up it was like a festival style thing. So like we closed out the Thursday night and they closed out the Friday night, but then like we played before them and they played before us. In BC, we did that last year. And it's funny because they're from Toronto, and that was our first show together. No, I think we might have done a Hamilton show together, but still, like the first
so
time
you met at a festival a couple times, played.
The first time we ever really hung out was in BC, and we're both from like down the street. And yeah, it's cool how that works. And but we sat in with each other, and it was great. It was fucking awesome. And so we're actually supporting them now on a tour out east in April, and yeah, I'm stoked.
How
for
many
that.
shows?
It's not too many shows, but it's still, I think it's like 4 or 5. We're doing our own show out there as well on the day that we're not playing with them. But it's like St. John, New Brunswick, Fredericton, New Brunswick. We're doing Charlottetown, PEI, Halifax, Nova Scotia. And then the show that we're doing on our own is in Alma, New Brunswick. Shout out to the Octopus Garden Cafe. Love that spot.
Wow.
And yeah, so then that's going to be a fun one because they're musicians that I love. Like, I love their songs and stuff like that. So it's, sometimes we play shows with bands that are great, but that aren't really like my bag, or like just like a band that like draws well, but like isn't really part of the same music I'm into. I mean, I'm into all types of music, but like it's fun to play with other like jam friendly music, like music that brings in the same crowd and stuff like that.
They got a following too on the road?
They're like, it's going to be like sold out nights.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be packed.
So nice exposure, a whole new audience.
Yeah. And we're already kind of building a name for ourselves in the East Coast as a jam band that plays different sets every night and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just going to kind of add a compound on the work we've been putting in. We hit the East Coast up twice last year, and this year I'm planning on doing it 3 times. So we're kind of just doubling down on new markets and stuff like that. But yeah, I love the Maritimes. It's its own vibe. It's cool.
You making any money online?
Not a whole lot of money online, like some merch sales. Mostly when we put out like new product or something like that, we'll sell a bunch, like a good amount, but nothing crazy. I find we definitely sell way more merch like in person after the show.
Yeah, I don't know, how do you capitalize on that stuff? It's so huge. Yeah.
Really? That's kind of where it is mostly at first anyways, right? It's just like the people that really believe in you and know like that you're just like an independent musician and they like want to support you.
Where do they give you money? Like, where do you direct them ever to donate or just support the band?
Usually
you just sell stuff.
Point them to things that they can have if they want, as like memorabilia or whatever, things to support. Most of our like sales come from like shirts and sweaters.
So you don't seek donations, just like if you want to support the band here,
Not
donate
really,
here?
No, sometimes people will
Like the face you're making when you say that. You're just
Dude, it's a freebie culture, man. It's like people want to listen to your music and that's it. Like most people don't want to.
Yeah, but what if they want to listen to you and give you money?
I guess it's a thing we could set up a Patreon or something like that, but like I still feel better about myself when the money is being exchanged for something. And I guess I am giving them value with the
Yes,
music,
exactly,
but
yeah.
then I just point them towards buying a CD or I guess there's some things you can do. Like we have a band camp where you can become like a member or whatever, and then you
Okay.
get like a track. There's, I think, an old track we have that we took down, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like to offer like something. I mean, I give music lessons. If you're gonna give me money, why not learn guitar? Like,
Yeah, no, I got that.
you know. Yeah,
That's
there's some
awesome, man.
people that I have bought my personal tracks, like because I do have. Actually, I think it's just one song on Bandcamp as like a solo artist, and I've had a couple of people buy that track, but you know that's a couple dollars, but I appreciate it and it's great. A couple dealers.
Frozen beer. Oh, my last beer's not even done. I was so quick to get those frozen beers out. Where were we going again?
I guess it's a good time to segue to. Oh yeah, if you want to. Go up. The one. Yeah. So this video is from our last year's spring show at Oddfellows.
Who recorded it?
G3.
Oh, yeah.
G3 did the video. And
Yeah, this
Russ
is the
Donahue-
show. It was at Burger's show. He had
Yep.
to show the same night. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you two?
I know, man. We need to talk more about that shit. No, but that's good that there's different things happening in the city, right?
True enough, but I should have left that gig earlier. Like, I mean, I could have seen the first set and been like, here's for the second set, you know? Spread it around a little bit. I don't know.
Don't wanna be the one. Don't wanna be the one. I don't wanna be the one who runs in blind. I don't wanna be the one who's left behind. I don't wanna be the one who's lost at sea. But I don't wanna be the one who's never free, never free. I don't wanna be the one. Don't wanna be the one. Don't wanna be the one. Don't wanna be the one.
many bands do you insist on hearing live footage of instead of studio stuff? Like, I mean, it's just usually the crowds in the background, the recording's substandard. It's just, it's not cool. The live version never is. I mean, I've never been. I mean, there was some Supertramp live, Frampton live. I mean, there's been some good live albums, but usually you think of it as being crowd noise and audio imperfection.
Yeah.
And this is nice because it's you guys in jam mode live, but sounding like you're in a studio.
Yeah,
Nicely
man.
done,
Russ
man.
is great. He's a good mixer.
Yeah,
and I think that's
really
just
well.
that's just part of the culture that the jam band culture, and it's kind of all about the live. It's kind of all about like the next version. Like, oh, you heard this version, but have you heard this version? Like, check this out. And you know, people start to have their favorites and shit like that. But like, that's kind of what makes it fun. It's like
You're living into the music you love, eh?
yeah, oh yeah, just leaning into it
It's
hard.
all jam band based love, like the bands that you love. I mean,
I would say yes, I do love jam bands, but I'm not as hip as like some people that are in the scene and like into all the newer bands and shit like that. I still like listen to a lot of non-jam bands because I like to get my inspiration from other things. Like I don't want to be
like what? What are you listening to?
It's a good question. I listen to a lot of
This
that.
is Don's mic stand, by the way.
Nice.
He's never getting it back. You guys left it here when you played last time.
That's hilarious.
And I don't know. It seems like it was as good a time as any to cop to my theft of Don's mic stand with the leader of the band right here.
I might have to tell him.
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
I know. But yeah, I mean, like, I listen to a lot of like Zappa. I actually have been into Anderson .Paak lately. He's a sweet drummer / like rapper guy, like singer. It's kind of like neo soul sort of thing. But also, I actually have been diving back into Pink Floyd lately. It's been a long time since I
Me
did
too. I have been here and there. I dropped Genesis the other day. Watcher in the Sky. Watcher in the Sky or something. Wow, live.
Yeah, Paul
Peter
Simon.
Gabriel
I
going
love Paul
crazy.
Simon.
Yeah.
What else? It's hard to think as soon as someone asks me. I'm like, what have I been?
No,
listening
I'm
to?
more interested in what new stuff you're listening to.
New stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a great question, man. Not a crazy lot of new stuff. Like they're like in the jam band world. Like I have been enjoying bands like Spafford and Goose.
Did I introduce you to Bonaparte? Did you ever fall in love with him when you were here? Or did I play enough for you to really like it?
I don't think
He's
so.
Great, man. He was the song that I ripped off at the open of my old show, the terrestrial radio show, the Quarantine. I know I played it for you, but
I think you may
you've
have
heard it. But
I'm trying to think.
I just heard this one the other day, and I get demonetized every time I play it, but I don't care. Flat.
Yeah, I've been on more of like an old music binge lately.
What was this guy's name? Where do I find? I put him.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Yeah, like Anderson .Paak and King Gizzard are like my two big ones right now.
What are they all about?
Yeah, so like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is kind of like, it's hard to explain because they're so different and like they release so much music. But they're one of the bands right now to me that are like pushing the bar creatively. Like one year they did this project where they only released, so they released an album that was only acoustic instruments. So you know, flutes, acoustic guitars, pianos, drums, shit like that. Shit you don't need to plug in, and it was like a beautiful album, right? And then they did another thing where it was like only microtonal instruments. So I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a regular guitar, but so in Western music there's 12 notes, and that's what we use, 12 notes. That's our alphabet for music. But in like Eastern, like Indian Eastern and stuff like that, there's more notes in between, right? So like they divide the notes up into smaller fragments. So it sounds weird to us, but like it's a thing, right? So they made a whole album where they just used microtonal instruments, and so that was cool. And then I think 3 years ago they made this pact with themselves. As artists, you create things and sometimes don't release them to the public, but they made a pact with themselves to release every song that they wrote, and they have their own studio and stuff like that. So they released, I think it was something like 7 or 8 albums in 1 year. Like
of just performance,
just music. Yeah, it was like a lot. Like they're a very like heavy, like
all
stoner,
new, original.
yeah,
like
all
center?
original music, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago. And they're kind of like stoner rock, I would call them. Like sometimes though, like they're kind of like metal sometimes, and like rock sometimes, and sometimes it's like folk jazz. Like I don't know, they touch on a lot of cool things and weird sounds, and to me, they're one of the bands that are really pushing the bar.
Okay, because I got this guy loaded. I'm gonna play.
And then
this guy
Anderson
first.
.Paak is another. He's like I was explaining, he's like a neo soul guy, but he's such a solid drummer, and the fact that he can sing so beautifully and rap so cool, like he's got the best smile in the game. Like
So if you're introducing somebody to those boys, what tune do you direct them to?
so King Gizzard that's a tough one because it touches on so many things. So it depends on what you like, right? I don't know. I really like the album, the microtonal one. It's called Microtonal Banana. But then there's Paper Mache Balloons, I think it's called, is the acoustic one. That one's really great. There's so many. And then Anderson .Paak, I would do his Tiny Desk series. That one's really cool.
So let me introduce you to this guy just for a second, because it came into my mind as I'm always looking to introduce people to new music. And I got this from the incoming bump music, the intro music of Gavin McInnes's Get Off My Lawn the other night. I think when he was live, I'm not sure, but he's behind a paywall. It's only paid content, and I fucking love it. I love it. I love everything about it. It's right in my wheelhouse for what my heart needs right now, man. I don't know why this song makes me so fucking happy. Or not happy, something. I don't know. It just makes me. $12,000 views. 12,000 views.
That's not a lot.
What the fuck? Look at this guy. I don't get it. Hack Baker if you need him. PC
I
blood.
think that speaks very much to like how nowadays there's a lot of bands that are successful, and it doesn't mean that they're like super famous. You know what I mean? Like bands are. There is money in the industry as much as people don't want to admit that. It's just like there's just because we're in this new industry, there's not set rules on how to do it. It's very new. Everyone's doing it in different ways, and like it's not the same.
What am I searching for these guys?
You could maybe do Rattlesnake by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Right there. Second one. Or first one.
This one?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the video before. This is kind of like their popular one. A lot of people know this one. This is a purely independent band, by the way. And like, I've never seen a merch line longer in my life. It was a snake eating itself. It was so fucked. Oh my goodness. I've never seen a merch line that long. It was the hugest merch line ever. Like, they're really like a different band. They're Australian too. But they recently got like huge. They're huge. Really? Yeah. Like sold out tours around the world.
Wow. I like it. That's the old Manchester sound in there.
It's got
Remember
this, like, old-
Manchester?
No.
And Spiral Carpets. There was a bunch of bands that came out in those years. There's the old Manchester sound.
Cool.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's got this like old school metal vibe.
It's got a groove, man.
Yeah.
Gonna have to like that one.
Yeah,
So it's in my list.
I saw them in September or something like that. It was pretty cool because their catalog is so large. Sometimes you just shows where they play songs. You're like, that was kind of it for me. It was very heavy, and I'm more into their like melodic songs.
Oh, okay.
They played a lot of like their more like chugging metal songs like this. And they played this song, but they went into it for like a second and then like left it. I was like, ah. But I also am like a noob. Like I would make a fool of myself talking King Gizzard to like a real fan. Like I
Right.
just don't know. Like you know what I mean? I'm very new to the culture and
A
it's
noob.
seriously, you go there and like people are right into it. Like, and I feel like I'm in my element at like a Fish show or a Dead show. Like I know exactly what I'm talking about and stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, with
Cool.
these guys, I'm like just totally like a fresh guy. Like, oh, this is great. But they're great. But yeah, I seriously mean that when I've never seen a merch line that long. Like it was huge. It was humongous.
And what
Like,
show was it?
It was in Toronto in like September.
So they're just playing a festival?
No, it was their own show at like, I forget
Really?
what club it was.
Really?
Yeah, it was a random club.
Wow.
Yeah. No, they're huge. They're like cult following huge. Like they're their own thing.
But for how long?
What do you mean?
Like how new are they?
I think they're recent, like 2006, 15 or 14 maybe.
Okay.
They just started. But yeah. And what's cool too is the two openers that opened up for them were from Australia too, and I think they bring them as like support. So like they're supporting their own like scene and stuff,
that's
yeah.
the way to go.
Which is cool because it's cool that you can start doing that once you start getting that popular, right? You kind of make your own decisions, and dude, they have albums that are only available at their merch stand that you can't hear online, and like you can't hear on Spotify or anything like that. So they're really smart at marketing and everything. It's just a whole thing.
What's it called again?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. That's their band name. Which in itself is great marketing because it's like such a wacky name, but it sticks. It rhymes.
3.6 million views.
Yeah. And that's like, independent underground music. That's not easy to do.
That views.
I know, right? That's the
Got a
funny part.
great track to it.
Yeah. That's another
And
thing
you're
too.
the perfect band to be an underground cult following band. I mean, you know?
Yeah. That'd be great, man. That's the goal, right?
These guys are pretty psychedelic, eh?
Yeah. That's the
So
thing.
all their music isn't like this?
No.
You
If you
said
want
it's a lot harder stuff too?
there's a lot harder stuff and a lot softer stuff too.
This is a cool tune.
Yeah.
I like songs with momentum.
Yeah, exactly. They carry forward.
And, I find my favorite ones, I feel like I'm on a galloping horse.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Kodachrome by Paul, who were talking, were you talking Paul Simon earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kodachrome. One of my
Yeah,
favorite
nice.
tunes. It makes me feel
Yeah.
like I'm up on my, it's just a happy little
Yeah.
galloping tune.
Yeah, man. There's actually we've only made one music video for the last album we put out. I mean, there's still opportunity to keep busting out some songs. Lakeshore Drive is a great song we could make a video for that people love that song. And I mean,
You could do something with it.
yeah. I think one thing that I battle with is like, it's like irrelevant. Like I keep telling myself like, like all those songs are like 2 years old now. And
Dude, this could easily this could as easily be a Roadways video as it is this guy's video. You know what I mean? With your own shit. You know what I mean?
totally.
Like it's so cheesily cheap
I know.
and budget looking, like as far as the like,
Yeah.
and who cares?
There's
It
nothing
doesn't
fancy
matter.
about it
And
at
who
all.
cares?
Yeah, totally.
Because it's really about the tune.
Exactly.
I get too lost. That's why I don't like these videos so much. Well, I don't like these videos are okay because you see the band playing. That's what I
Right.
want to see most of is the
True.
band playing.
Yeah, I do like those videos.
Now, if you want to put other shit around it, then great. But mostly for me, I don't want to watch a video with a movie.
Right.
What the fuck? Now I'm like, I want to see them play.
Yeah.
I call it music video for a reason. It's video of the music. Well, they playing an out-of-tune piano?
Sounds like it.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, G.
Yeah,
Just
man.
introduced me to something I think I might like that tune.
Yeah, dude.
What else is going on, G? Talk to me. What are you doing tonight?
Just chilling, man. One thing I wanted to talk about too. I feel like did I already bring up that we're getting into the States for the first time?
No, I don't think you. We
Yeah.
talked about it earlier, but yeah.
Yeah.
Talk
Look,
about-
that's exciting for me because really, as a jam band, that's where the scene really lives. Is
Again, you're going on tour with someone opening up across a predetermined.
No,
you doing?
it's going to be a mixture of our own shows and us being added to bills and stuff like that.
Okay, so when you start out, and
Pardon me.
when you do you know exactly where you're playing and when?
Sort of. Not right now. We're kind of just building that
Okay.
the U.S. tour. Right?
First time in the States.
First time in the States. I think it'll be like May that the actual
Okay.
first time will be. And yeah, and then it's gonna be a lot of like upper state New York right now, just because that's close to home and it's not as expensive. But as we were talking about earlier, it does give us the option to cut through the States when it makes sense to get to further Canadian dates, right? Because the Great Lakes and all that. Sometimes it sucks to have to go all the way north and around. So, for example, right now, for our trip out west, we're planning on hitting like Chicago and I'm blanking. Minneapolis, that's right, yeah. And to get to like the prairies basically instead of going through like Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, Thunder Bay and all that stuff. Which is, I mean, I don't know, I haven't calculated how much time it actually saves, but I'm not really worried too much about the time it saves. More so that the fact that there's way more populated areas south than there are north, right? Like the cities that we're going to be hitting, like Thunder Bay and Sault Ste. Marie and stuff like that, like they're great, but like the population of Chicago is way larger than you know what I mean? Like just stuff like that. Just It's going to be, the shows kind of like have better built-in audiences and just more people, more opportunities and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that, and when we're out west, we might book some shows in like Washington and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm excited.
The Out West is a separate tour.
No, that's kind of what I was talking about when we cut through to Chicago, and that's
okay.
kind of on our way out west, below
And
the
then you
Great
go
Lakes.
west from there.
And then yeah, exactly, we'll be heading west that way. We've already got some shows booked in like the prairies and in like North BC festivals and stuff like that.
Repeats of places you played before.
Yeah, a lot of places that we know work, that we've started to build markets in, and we know we're gonna have a crowd, and we know like it's just set up, and then a lot of new spots, like new festivals we've never played before, hopefully, and still kind of just working out those details, but it's nice once you start touring more. You start to build a lot of like, I wouldn't call them like safe zones, but like like checkpoints almost. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, like if we can get here, we know we're like financially good. These guys like pay well. We draw a good crowd here. This is gonna like work out. We get fed and stuff. And yeah, and then in the meantime, you kind of work on new markets and trying to build relationships with new people and yeah.
So when you hit the festivals, then what's it? Just the luck of the draw as far as where you play and what time of day it is and how much merch you sell or who you're.
I mean, that's
Like-
part of the negotiation, really.
You
Oh.
do get a fee to play for that, and then outside of that, where do you make your money at a festival? Just off merch?
Usually festivals pay pretty well, so you don't
Oh, they
really have
do?
to, yeah, festivals are definitely some of the better paying gigs. All depends on your negotiation, really, but
And you get that money up front or half up front?
yeah, it depends on the contract, but usually the protocol is like half up front. And yeah, and yeah, you do sometimes make merch. Sometimes they'll charge you a percentage to sell it for you. And sometimes they'll just give you it all. Most of the time they do take a little cut. Yeah, festivals are really where it's at though, because that's where you get a lot of your new fans, and it's kind of just all the work's done for you, and you show up and there's a food tent, and I mean all the music lovers are there, and that's kind of where like venues are kind of like you're in between festivals. Festivals are kind of like the big gigs
Really?
that you work
Interesting.
around. You know, you get a festival show and then you're like, oh, I guess I'm touring out this way, sort of thing. It kind of helps you route your planning
Gotcha.
a bit more. It's like your anchor spots.
Interesting. So how many shows are you going to play this summer?
That's hard
this
to say,
year,
really.
let's say. How many did you play last year?
Last year was about 100. I think I
Okay.
counted 100 by the last one.
That's busy, man.
That's pretty busy, yeah. It's funny because a lot of people say that, but to me, it's like, we could have done more. Like, I
You
mean,
could have maybe, but
that's 2 on average per weekend or per week, but just
Mhm.
like could do more. Could have done 3 average per week.
Yeah, but then you guys seem to have a pretty healthy crew of guys. How does everyone make it work with work? Like, what are they doing on the side to make money where they can afford to be on tour for as long as you guys are touring?
It's
for?
It's all different. I mean, like in terms of like for me, I take an agent cut, so I actually get a little bit bigger of a cut, but I do a lot of the like legwork in terms of booking the
A
tours.
little, yeah.
I know Yo was working at his parents' restaurant, so like the time off wasn't really as like big.
So
of a
he
deal,
works when he's home and he
sort of
gets the
thing,
time
and
off
they
when
just
he
closed
needs.
that restaurant, so I'm not sure what's going on with
Okay,
that.
yeah.
You know, I try not to pry too much into the. But I know Matt's got a good situation. He's just got like a regular grocery store job, and they support the band fully.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're like,
Awesome.
do your thing. Like fucking yeah, it's pretty great.
Okay, I'm home. Can I
Yeah.
come in to have a shift? Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
and I'm
Well,
not too sure about Don. I haven't really talked to him about that. It's kind of never just comes up in conversation.
That's always I wonder. Even the guys in Hurricane and stuff like that. I know they have
Yeah.
gigs, but now they're going on long tours, man.
Right,
It's
right.
a big commitment. To,
Well, I think with Hurricane they are all getting paid. Like we're almost to the point now where it can like fully like we can fully just like be in the band and like pay our rent with every dollar coming through the business right now, right? It's getting close. Like we're building that market. It's tough.
yeah, I guess the finances is the biggest thing. So, what's the biggest opportunity to expand on finances for a guy like you, like where you're sitting right now? If we go like,
Honestly, right now for us, it's just about continuing to do what we're doing, because we're still not at a point where we're completely capping like every venue that we play in terms of like ticket sales and stuff like that. So there's still room to grow. There's still room to like, sell out shows and stuff like that. Once we start selling out shows, then, obviously we'll be making much more money at that point, and that's kind of then at that point, that's when you start playing bigger rooms and trying to make.
so most of your gigs, you get a flat gig, you get a flat rate, or then
It
you got to work
depends.
something with the gate or something.
Every
like
single
that?
show is different. Some shows are they'll offer us a guarantee, and we negotiate on the guarantee and what we get out of it. Sometimes it's based on just ticket sales, so we get either 100% of ticket sales. split between bands, or like 80%, and they keep 20, but then we get like meals or something like that, right?
Interesting.
Or like they'll put us up in a hotel, or there's always like some trade off, right? And yeah, like festival shows are usually pure guarantee, plus riders and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
so
very
festivals where it's on, eh?
festivals are where it's at. Yeah, I mean some festivals are like under attended, and
Get all the orange M&Ms, nothing else on your riders.
actually, I've heard that the reason that happened, I forget who it was that
Van
did that.
Halen, wasn't
Van Halen might have been him that started doing that, and I think the reason was because he knew that if the M&M part didn't get read and like followed, then the safety shit for his tech crew didn't get read.
Really?
You know what I mean? So then he knew that his guys were in danger, and
So at the end, he put the
Yeah.
M&Ms.
yeah. So then he's like, okay, are you paying attention? I need to know my guys are good, because people die on those crews, right? Like heavy equipment, and you need to have all the standards and shit. So I think that's what I heard. That I'm not sure how
Interesting.
accurate that was, but I think that was the reason behind that.
Cool.
Yeah. What's that? It's a
Show
good
me
question.
something else new.
Something else new.
Yeah, like another band that you're crushing on that's different.
Let me check my.
I can sip of that right away just in case. Okay.
It's great, yeah. But I left mine for a while.
Do you, yeah, exactly. Do you use the Shazam as your history on stuff?
No,
Oh, man,
I actually
that's
do.
where I get
Yeah,
all my music.
I do
It's
Shazam.
easy
I do
because-
have like a Shazam playlist I can just pull up, but I don't know. I'm not
That was
sure.
a good one.
I'm not sure
I'll
if
go
it's-
back and see more of their stuff.
I'm not sure if it's your bag, but Anderson Paak.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
You mentioned somebody else.
Yeah. And I would really
PAC?
Paak. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. And I would really suggest the Tiny Desk series, the first one that popped up
Yeah,
there.
you mentioned it. See, I knew we were getting back to something.
That first video there already came up.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, he's kind of like,
3.5 mil.
yeah, it's very like, you know,
Oh, this guy's got 40. No, it says 44 million.
dude,
views.
he's huge. He's huge now. He's huge. He blew up because of this video and the album that came out around the same time, Malibu. Beautiful album.
What do you say? You're not sure if it's my thing.
I'm just not sure if it's your bag. It's like very like rap oriented and like,
Oh.
yeah. I think it just paused.
Explicit language.
Volume.
Keep shutting me down for something all the time. Oh, this thing's coming around now.
I think this song is appropriate. Sauna in here right now. Y'all niggas got me hot.
Oh, I like it already.
But
Sounds
dude,
like it comes from a movie.
dude, listen to his drumming. It's so
Know this shit
consistent.
still
I,
on. Niggas got me hot.
I might have heard this already.
Yeah, he's such a consistent drummer. Like the way he hits the drums, the same every time. It fucking blows my mind.
I might have seen this.
Hey, well that's exactly what the nigga came for.
Oh, he's good.
You taking shots from afar, I'ma meet you at your front door.
I don't know if I can get past the lyrics though. They're so racist.
You did. But don't I make it look easy? Don't I make it look good? Hey, you drank up all my liquor. Come on, what I'm supposed to do now? And you talking all that.
I feel like I've heard this before.
Back it up. If I get too high now, sugar, come on. I might never come down. I might
Are we? Oh, that might be running out. How long have we been rolling? What's it say there, G?
72 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to shut her down. I could switch it over to the other phone, but and one thing this guy's got is that stage presence, that interaction with the
I know, yeah.
fuck.
It's
It's,
just the-
even through the TV
For
you
him,
get his
though, it's a
charisma.
natural mojo, I think. Like, he's just got it.
Yeah. I agree. There's the it factor there.
Yeah. I think for me, it might be more of like I develop like early musically, but like I'm still young. I still have time to like mature into who I am, right?
Get up on the mic, give us the contact information. We'll shut this thing down and
So yeah, I'm G Sharp from Roadwaves, and you can find us pretty much anywhere if you look us up, Roadwaves Band. Our website's roadwaves.ca. We tour all across Canada, and we just started touring. We're just going to be starting touring in the USA, mostly the north parts of the states right now, but we'll be moving on down to the south soon. So look us up, Roadwaves Jam Band. You know what to do. I think we may be able, if you go on our EPK page, so roadwaves.ca/EPK, I think that you can access like our Spotify players through there, but you know, you can find us anywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. That we listened to today. No. Yeah. Yep. I should release the rest. I have them. I'm sitting on them. That sounds alright. That's a phone recording though. So long would be, or that indigo from the top, that second video. That's a good quality one, yeah. This is from Come Together Music Festival. So the fire that you see in that music video is from this festival. Yeah, the video content. Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. And this is always a great festival to play because the people are there for the music. It's like, you know, and sometimes you play festivals that are more about the party than the music. But, I mean,